This stone came out of a batch that's marked jade green pieces. Now, whether that's just meaning that it's jade green colored, or if it's pieces of jade, it's hard to tell. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here today, and well, today we've got this here thingy. Okay, and it's marked as jade green stones, and it might be jade, it might be aventurine. A lot of it is aventurine, but some of it's a little bit harder than that. But this one has a lot of, well, we got black gnarlies in there, inclusions, and it has a lot of character. Okay, so we're just going to find out exactly if this thing is going to shine up or not. So, what more to do than just get right into it, and I'll meet you at the wheel. To the wheel! Okay, water going, machine going. Okay, everything's going good. So this is going to be the top of our stone. Okay, this bottom here doesn't have a lot going on it. Doesn't have a lot going for it. But here's all the gnarlies that I want to try to keep. So I'm going to work a little bit of an edge on here. And see if we can keep as much of the shape of this thing as possible. And I'd like to not make it a free form. Okay, I'm going to take some of this off. Okay, it's pretty soft. Need a lot more water. See, some of these stones, if they're soft, it creates a lot of muck. So I got to run extra water. Okay, the edge is coming along nice, but I still want to keep as much of this side as possible because I want it to be a good stone. Every stone is a good stone, but I want it to be a nice stone. Okay, I want to keep as much of this part as possible, but I'm still going to have to shape it up. I don't want to lose this part of the stone. Maybe if I bring this down, I'm still going to have to lose some of that. I think we can keep it at that. Okay, the only thing I do have is an unbalanced bottom. Can't have unbalanced bottoms. Okay, we've got a nice edge worked around there. Now I'm going to start working the top of this stone. Like I said, this stuff's soft. It's not going to be that difficult to work. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, are we losing much? Yeah, we're losing some of that structure in there, which I don't want to do. Luckily, I only have to take off more at the top where the white is. And we may actually bring more of that black stuff out. Alrighty, well, that's not coming along too bad. It's soft enough that I'm going to have to finish the shaping up on the finer wheel. And it's not going to be that difficult to do because it's nice and soft. In this case, soft isn't really a bad thing. Okay, let me work this edge a little bit. No, and this stone, actually this stone's big enough, I don't think I'm going to have to dop it. So I may be able to just continue the entire thing without having to put it on a dop stick, which I think would be pretty awesome. You're going to have to use just slightly different technique, but it's still going to be the same thing. You ever work a stone without a dop stick? You want to keep it moving fast, so that means you're going to have to move your hands fast. Okay, now we're going to get the top of it. This stone came out of a batch that's marked jade green pieces. Now, whether that's just meaning that it's jade green colored, or if it's pieces of jade, it's hard to tell. Jade comes in a lot of colors, and quality depends on hardness and clarity and the color and many, many other things. Okay, oh, and we got another email from Mrs. Cluck. And yeah, I looked at that too, and I thought, what in the heck? And then I read on what she had said, and apparently she was in a black and white stage production of an unnamed classical, how did she put it? An unnamed classical Victorian theater production that was unnamed, which is odd. But it was a black and white production, and apparently they did something with the lighting and the costumes to make the live theater production look black and white. So, hey, I don't even ask anymore. It's Mrs. Cluck. What do you expect? Coming up on, let's take a look here. Well, I tell you what, that is really nice. You've got the black in there, we got some really milky, and then we have the opaque, we have some stuff going on up in here, and there is a lot of depth going on all over this thing. I'm just going to get these edges just a little bit more. You know, even if the stone's bigger, I prefer dop sticks. That's just, I prefer that. But I'm going to go out of my comfort zone today and do this without one. So, let's see what we got. Not too bad. So I think that deserves to go on to the next wheel. Okay. So, on to the next. Oh, and no, I still haven't fixed that valve. Will I ever fix it? That is yet to be seen. And I believe, as soft as this stone is, I am not going to be able to hit it with cerium oxide. I've done a few stones out of here already, and almost every one, I've not been able to use cerium oxide on it because it undercuts it too much. Even if I turn the speed of the wheel down really, really slow, it was still undercutting it. So I will have to just go with the 1200 grit wheel and call it a day. And see, there's white streaks appearing on this because this stone is so soft that it even comes off pretty good on the 600 grit cushioned wheel. Okay, so what do we got? I think we got something nice going on here. That's a pretty darn good stone. No, I'm gonna make sure I got the edge really good. Okay. And you know what? We're heading over to the next wheel already. And like I said, I believe this is going to be the last bit. because these stones are so soft that the cerium oxide is not doing what it should do. But we shall endeavor to make this stone as pretty as possible. And the stone's doing a pretty good job of that itself. Okay, let's see if we can dry that off and make it all wet again anyway. Focus. Whew. I think that's coming along very nice. Very nicely. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Alrighty, I think that's about the most we can get on it. So I'm going to shut this off and I shall meet you back over at the table. So don't go away. Alrighty, we are here and this is what we have. You can see it has somewhat of a, there we go. Has somewhat of a matte finish to it. And I know for a fact, just by looking at this, well, having worked it, I can tell that it's not going to polish up on the cerium oxide the way we need it to. But we've got some nice blacks going across there. Now, let's take a look at it like this. Okay? Then I'm going to make it wet. Okay, there is a slight difference. A slight difference in there. And unfortunately, I cannot make that better with the cerium oxide. Okay, I would have to get like some super fine grit sandpaper and do that. And I think I'm completely out of all of those. Hang on just a second. Yes, I am out of those sandpapers. But you know what I do have is a leather pad. So I'm going to try and cerium oxide this by hand, and possibly that'll keep it from undercutting, because I think this deserves a better shine than it has. So, still, no going away. Alrighty, what I have here, I've maybe done this before, I can't remember. I've shown you something similar to this. But what I have here is stuff flying everywhere. Ah, the cerium's leaking. Okay, this is a piece of leather off of an old boot. And seriously, if you don't have any leather pads, or if you need leather pads, see if you have an old leather boot or an old leather shoe, because you can tear that apart. Oh, God. Okay, and that leather is going to be usable, especially for something like this. Okay, now, as you see, I squirted it, and I'm just going to rub this on the stone. Okay, and it is that simple. If this was on a stick, this would be a little bit easier to do. But I'm not applying very much pressure here at all, okay? I don't have a pad underneath it. I don't have anything to cushion it, because the leather is doing the cushioning itself. Okay, and I'm going to work the edge. I'm going to work down the face of the stone, and I'm going to keep wetting it because it's going to get dry real fast, and I don't want it to drag. Okay? And I am not, like I said, I'm not putting much pressure on this whatsoever. You don't need a whole truckload of cerium oxide. The cerium oxide is going to get stuck in the leather itself. This is like the suede part of the leather. The other side's the smooth part. I like to use the suede part. So I'm going to continue rubbing on this until we get a better shine to it. Okay? Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. What we got is a mess. But that's what we do. We make messes. Okay, so let's take a look. Well, that did bring the polish up pretty good. Yes, it did. And as you can see, there's undercutting in there. That's because of how soft this rock is. Oh, I'm sorry, how soft this gem is. And I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to get it much more polished than that unless I would have some 5000 grit paper. Because the sandpaper seems to not undercut as much as cerium does on a soft stone. Sorry about all this here. Okay, so let's take another quick look at that. Okay, here we go. That is not bad at all. That is a pretty darn nice stone. And I can honestly say that this stone is a win. So if you like the video, subscribe, like it, hit that thumbs up button. See how that blends in real nice there? Hit that thumbs up button. Ring the bell, then you'll know when I'm doing all this stuff. And then you can enjoy it with me. So thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.